Good afternoon. Hello everyone. I'm Shiv Mathur back on my channel after a very long time. There are so many videos on my channel which I made last year, and I thought I made enough content. So it's high time I take a break. And yeah, there has been some. I was traveling also. I was in Chennai in Krishnamurti Foundation Theosophical Society for a month in the month of February, and then I was a little busy doing some community work in Pune. So I was a little preoccupied, and I thought there is so much content, and a lot of the content has not been watched. So today I thought I should inform the viewers about the third book which I wrote called Social Pandemic. Why I wrote that book. So this is the book. This is the third book which I wrote in 2022. Other books which I wrote, the first book which I wrote is on meditation and philosophy of meditation, or how the mind works. And second book was about meeting the Himalayan yogi, then Rishikesh, ashrams and Vrindavan. That book is titled Spiritual Encounters. And then I thought that I need to write this also, Social Pandemic, a terminally ill modern society. So why I wrote, I had no plan to write this book actually, because meditation is something which I was into teaching and in Europe. But spiritual encounters, my travel in the Himalayas was also, that was my main mission, one of the mission initially, that to reveal those yogis to the world. So when I wrote these two books in the month of June and July in 2022, they were pretty well in my mind, the structure and the flow, so I could write those books very fast. Then I realized that it is just not the mind which needs a control, and people need to understand what is making their mind volatile. So mind is one aspect. Second aspect is when we have a certain kind of mental mindset, or a thought process, or a kind of a conditioning or upbringing or programming. There is a we are all social animals. We are all humans. We live in a community, so we live in a society, and based on our upbringing and our exposure, the way our mind we perceive things, the way we process things, it impacts the society. So how has the change in human values, or the erosion of human values, has actually led to the decay of the society and isolation which the society is going through. So because of that, I thought, let me write a book on this also, that what has really triggered. So mind and the society, the trigger is same, human values. So I said, let's build up this change in human values, or the decay in human values, how it changed the society. So what all the society went through, who all drove those modification, how all that brainwashing happened, how did the society got manipulated by some people, and how did the manipulation impact the society, how did capitalism, industrialization, and then followed by capitalism, then the banking sector, which became the whole imperialism. So it was actually a imperialistic idea of few, starting from Britain, who were imperialistic, and there has been imperialism, it's been there. Somebody is always trying to conquer or control the world. So that greed for fame and power, the lust for fame and power and money and control, drives the whole world. And we are in Kali Yuga, and that's very natural, because in this particular phase of existence of this planet, the mental faculties and the physical faculties are most underdeveloped. Now probably we are going through a transition from Kali Yuga now, so changes are happening. You will see the spiritual evolution happening. So for this reason, I thought I will write a book on social issues and make people aware of social issues. And so I've covered many things in this: how women got manipulated, what kind of narratives were made, why were they made. Ulterior benefit was power, the lust for power, fame by a few syndicate of politicians, industrialists, criminals, now even spiritual empires, Media has also jumped into that. So it's a big coterie. It's a big coterie of elite people, and how they control the world, how they manipulate, how they brainwashed, when did the brainwashing started, how the marketing, how do they market products, narratives, how do they influence the society for their benefit, and the society does not realize that how they are getting manipulated. So to have that understanding that how are we manipulated, because ultimately what happens, we get divided, and the strategy of divide and rule is that is what is being followed by few who control the whole globe actually. So to understand that, what is the driving force behind all this manipulation, and how all they have manipulated the society, I decided to write this book. It covers many areas, how different industries have evolved, how something which was never needed was created, the needs were created, risks were created, fear was infused. So they use a mix of a lot of things to manipulate the society and brainwash and create those needs which never existed before. From a very simplistic, minimalistic life, traditional life, more of a rural life, we gradually migrated into urban life and more unnatural, unrealistic, materialistic, consumeristic. And that kind of lifestyle and the success factors, the goals, everything changed, and how these narratives got marketed and driven into the society. And we have to understand how we get fooled actually. So the whole purpose of writing this book is that so that because what is happening is common people are fighting amongst each other, blaming each other, not realizing that what is the driving force behind all this nonsense, all this manipulation. Why are we failing? What's failing? Relationships are failing, and sustenance is becoming a challenge. To sustain is a challenge, even if you are very highly educated. So the society is going through random, rapid changes, and we just don't know how to adopt to those changes, and why have become so dependent on this kind of system. So this whole system, which is to control the common people, that needs to be understood. So I wrote, I'll show you various chapters which are there in the book. I don't know, it's right to show that, but maybe if you read the books, there are so many chapters here, like how the digitization has influenced and been used, how the military industrial complex is driving wars, what is the ulterior motive, how is the banking sector, why did the insurance sector came, how technology got misused and got misuse for, or I would say abuse, basically it's all abuse. So these are the chapters, and what is the possibility of, getting back to where we belong, to where, to get rid of all this nonsense. What is the possibility, and how can we do that? So, and will it happen, or we'll continue to degrade, decay, go through anxiety, depressions, loneliness, and so first of all, to deal with this, we need to understand spirituality. That's a very different ball game. But before we become spiritually evolved, to understand what is happening and become detached, and to understand the real system, how we are supposed to live, it's important to understand how we got manipulated. If you don't understand, we'll keep blaming. We'll remain divided, based on the politicians. What kind of politicians all are crooks. So we don't understand why are we following someone, and why we are not following someone, and who's doing what. But behind all this manipulation, who's responsible for this? And I think this is something which I want to share about this book. I have not done much because this is my third book, so I really did not really market it so much. My first two books were actually sold well, especially the book on meditation is doing well. But I have not really put an effort to market this third book, because a lot of us are also in denial mode, because we are so much brainwashed. We actually remain in a denial mode. We don't want to accept the reality, and we find being opportunist and for sake of convenience, for being selfish, we feel let's enjoy these narratives and let these narratives will be there for my own selfish interest. So when selfishness is directly proportional to individualism and loneliness, because more selfish you become, more lonely you will become, because you're only thinking of yourself. You forget that you live in a community, you live in a society. So these brainwashing, the narratives, they suit individuals, they suit women, some will suit some other section of the society. This there is a denial to even see the truth. There's a denial to see that we have done wrong, we've got wrongly influenced. So how many people are really willing to understand? Because then if you agree to that, you have to be egoless to understand that you did something wrong. If you have so strong ego and you feel you have done nothing wrong, and whatever you feel, the way you perceive things, or whatever way, whether even you got brainwashed, you consider that as a truth, and that is your knowledge, and that is your wisdom, and you continue to suffer. Inherently, from inside you, people are suffering, but they don't want to know the facts. So that's the reason I wrote these three books, and I think about this third book, Social Pandemic, a terminally ill modern society, is something which is very, very relevant. Though the book is not sold much, I don't spend on marketing because probably I have my other way of promoting my book slowly. I'm not in a hurry to promote it. It's not that I'm going to interested in making money out of it. Yeah, obviously it can give me some passive income if I need it, though probably I don't think I need that passive income right now. But if it comes, then I can put back into promoting this book, because it's not promoting book for my own gain. These books are written for the society, for helping people in the mind, and for the social setup, and also in the spiritual part. So that is the whole mission of writing these book. And I'm 59-year-old. Now is not the time to make money for me. I have done my bit, working in different jobs and making all that money. Now I enjoy simplicity, simple food, want to live in the nature. So this is not that time for me to make money. My daughter is well settled, so I don't think I need money. But I want to use the money coming out of it to promote this book. And I do it in a very, not in a very lavish way. I mean, not in a very desperate way to promote it, but I do it very gradually, in a very kind of a traditional way, and whenever I feel I should do. Because I think writing a book, you are equally responsible, and if you feel it is needed, it's not a story book, it's not a fiction book, or it's not some book on physics or some subject book. It's a very different subject actually. Though it's a subject book, it's a non-fiction, but it is from the point of view of social reform for the benefit of the society. That's the whole idea. So it's my responsibility. I still feel my responsibility that I should promote this book. So I also give it free whenever possible, because if I give it free, people don't value it, they don't read it. Some people want it free and they insist that I should gift it to them, but they don't read it. So I avoid giving this book for free, because it's just a question of $300-400 rupees, which is very, it's really nothing actually. 300 rupees. You go and buy vegetables for much more than that. So why can't people spend on something which is very valuable for their own self, for their own personal development, and for the society? So it's not somebody rightly said, and I was in a literary festival and somebody came and said, books are priceless. Yeah, some books are really priceless. Some books are like for fun, but some books are very valuable. So the content is what is very important. So I think it's not about price. And so I would request people to share it and help, in a way, help me to promote this book and read it and give feedback on Amazon, so that it can reach out to more people. The whole idea is I can reach out to more people, because I have no other way of spending a lot of money or some kind of marketing or giving to some company, spending $2,000-3,000 the way people do in America to promote their books, and get nothing else from that. So thanks. And right now I'm not making much any content right now, but I think probably when the time will come and I'll have something which I feel is needed, then only I'll make it. It's not that just I sit and something comes. I need that kind of environment for me also to get into that deep thinking mode, sadhana mode, and then only I can make that kind of stuff. Okay, thank you.